with me is my best friend,
Bruce.
Why did you give me that face?
That's my...
Okay, anyways. Alright, today we are discussing, are you a real friend? I think this topic is very relevant. I haven't been able to speak all day. Okay, I think this topic is very relative to today's generation simply because everybody kind of experiences ups and downs between friends and friendships, including us. So,
yeah.
So today we're just gonna talk about what it means to be a real friend and what comes with friendships as you grow older and the adversity and changes that you experience dealing with friendships.
Me and Ariel, we lived in the same neighborhood, so we became friends. What was that? Beginning of 12th grade or the end?
Yeah. Was that 12th grade?
It was. I think it was 12th. Yeah, it was 12th grade because it was right before my birthday, which is in February, Aquarius. So one day we were at the bus stop. Ariel was like, "Oh, you get we fuck it."
Baby, slow down, honey.
Oh,
okay. You was at the bus stop.
We were at the bus stop, and we were just talking about we was tired of riding the bus, and I was like, "I'm gonna get a car next week." Ariel was like, "Oh, you are?" I was like, "Yeah," because
this is back when I was an opportunist.
And I was like, "Yeah, and I knew for a fact I was getting a car." So Ariel was like, "Oh, okay, well let's just exchange numbers. We can start riding to school together." I was like, "Cool." Back then I was very sweet. I didn't care about, helping people out.
Pause. He was actually really mean back then.
But I would do anything for my friends.
But you were still an asshole.
Maybe I was an opportunist too.
How?
Because you were popular. And I knew people, but I didn't really care.
I think you were a little opportunistic too.
But then again, yeah.
Pause.
We helped each other out.
Y'all, I forgot to mention, I have a new setting. I moved, so I no longer have the same setting. So welcome to my new set for the 11th hour. Continue.
Love the feng shui.
Yes, it's a new, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. So y'all see my apartment a little more, but whatever. Okay, continue.
But yeah, back then, Ariel, she was very sweet. She was very, she didn't really, she didn't do confrontation a lot. She was just a very sweet girl, very sweet, too sweet.
Child.
And back then, I guess I wasn't a bully.
You took advantage of my sweetness.
I wanted her to toughen up.
You took my kindness for me.
I want you to toughen up.
So basically, y'all, I was totally different from who I am now. Now I am a fucking asshole. Excuse my language.
But it's not my fault, right?
It's not his fault. Life experiences, when you're nice like that, people run over you. So, yeah.
So I taught her almost 10 years ago that we ain't doing that. No.
He didn't teach me. Life experiences and people trying to get over him taught me. But anyway.
It started with me.
But anyway, so we started becoming friends senior year. We lived in the same neighborhood. We ride to school together, and we all hung out, him and a few of our other friends. And so when I went off to college, he would come help me move in and visit me and come to the college parties with me. And so a lot of my friends became his friends. So we had a really tight relationship, tell each other everything, and we were just very close. But like any other friendship, during that maturation stage, you start to become different people. You start to grow into who you really are. You start to change. You start to, react to things differently. And so throughout that time, I think a lot built up. Just because, to be honest, I'm an Aries, he's an Aquarius. Not that technically has anything to do with it, but I'm more so feisty. I'm literally exactly what they describe. I can be bossy. I can be a little controlling. He is more so the laid back, passive one. So sometimes that can conflict because you have somebody who is a little more passive and not really as aggressive or forward with their thinking. And then you have somebody who does not hold back and will say whatever is on their mind, regardless of how you feel about it. So that kind of started to become conflicting for us.
And it was before we moved in together, but I kind of just felt like we were best friends, and we always talked about what happened too. So it's not like she'll do something or I'll do something. But like if we ever put a certain type of way, we could be like, hey Ariel, hey Bruce, I don't like how you did that. We'll talk about it. We'll be good. So I felt like if we did move in together and that happened, we'll be able to talk about it and everything will be good after that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so we decided to move in together. So initially, when he asked me to be my roommate or be his roommate, I'm sorry, I was extremely hesitant because number one, I'm thinking like, all right, I don't know about moving with a friend. Like things are always going to be different when you start living together. But also, like Bruce is very close to his family, so he's the type of person like he likes to, you know, like his family will live with him, whatever, and that is completely fine. However, I know my living style is a little different, so I was very concerned about that. And so throughout my doubts, I still moved forward with it, which I probably should have just stuck to my gut because obviously a woman's intuition really is strong.
I had the same feeling, but
No, you didn't.
I wanted to live in the city, so I was like, you know, if we have an issue, we'll talk about it. Boom, it's over with. But
So,
we both had reservations. For her, for the most part, because she knows that I have a lot of brothers and sisters, and I'm very close to them, and I cater to them, and that was something big for her. But my only issue for me was Ariel can be controlling. So her being like that, I felt like, okay, if we talk about it, we'll be good. Mm-hmm. So that was my only issue. Like, okay, I know we're gonna get into it about you feeling in a certain type of way about something, I don't know. Or you wanted to be in control.
Not that I just want everything my way.
I mean, you not necessarily you tried. I'll say that. You tried.
I don't feel like I did. Okay.
You tried. She definitely tried her hardest, but Ariel, she is in control. Whenever she's doing something, she's in control. So it's like
I do have a controlling nature just because like God gave me a lot of gifts.
Yes.
So I just like I'm a facilitator. Like that's just who I am. I'm a leader. I'm a naturally born leader. But during the time of us living together, I neglected the fact that he paid rent too. You know what I'm saying? He was a part of the apartment too. And so we kind of clashed in that sense because I let my controlling nature kind of, you know, affect him and how he was as a roommate, like how like his comfort of living. And so him being like a more passive person, he kind of held it in and didn't really communicate that to me. And I'm the type of person, you have to communicate shit to me. If you don't, like it, like what are we talking about? I need you to tell me so I can fix it because I'm very open to communication.
And I was wrong with that only because like for me, honestly, when I don't like something or something doesn't go the way I want it to go, I sit and think about it for a while first.
Yeah.
And so while I was sitting and thinking about it, I was
What?
I was completely ignoring you because I was trying to figure out how I wanted to deal with the whole situation. And I feel like that's where it kind of went left because at first we were still communicating stuff, but in the back of my mind, I'm still feeling some type of way about just it was little stuff. It was never anything like huge. It was always like, I don't know, Bruce, you want to wash my dishes or something like that? And I'm like, oh, so now you're taking advantage.
Yeah.
But I like cleaning though, so she wasn't wrong for asking me to do it.
But see, that's what happens when you start living with a friend. Like, things change.
Yeah.
So I think that the main issue was like we stopped communicating. You know, I was being that person who was trying to, I guess, control the apartment. I'm not even going to say control. I'm just going to say, like, I don't know. I guess you can say control or wanting
For lack of a better term, it was control. But it wasn't just you being controlling. Because, you know, it was things that she wanted me to do that I wasn't able to do at that time because I was still paying rent in my other place and I had other things that I was taking care of, and I wasn't really letting you know about that.
And during this time, we were spending time together too as friends too. So it was just too much. It became a lot, and our communication started to fall off. For me, if you don't tell me, we're just gonna keep having a problem.
Right.
I'm very receptive to people communicating when something is wrong, and he wasn't doing that. He began to shut down, and things just kind of escalated so bad to where he really tried to fight me, y'all.
Oh my Ariel. Girl, bruh, no.
Well, we gotta into this big argument, and it just got really, really bad. And long story short, he moved out, and I was just like, screw him.
Okay.
And
it's still screw her for lying.
And period. And so we fell out, basically, long story short. We fell out for like a year. Literally a year.
I text her after about 3 or 4 months because I was over it.
Yeah, but y'all, before we fell out, first of all, we was cussing each other out. Like, we was calling each other up.
We both
them texts
seeing
crazy.
another side of each other.
Yeah, for real. But anyways, he moved out, and then he texted me like 6 months later. I said that, nigga, screw you.
But see, in the text, I think if I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I think you would have responded.
But no, because this is the thing, I don't hold grudges. Mm-hmm. However, that shit really hurt me. And when I'm hurt, like, I'm stubborn. I'm done. Like, I'm prideful. So I'm like, nah, you ain't finna play with me. But it takes me a lot to get there because I don't hold grudges. Like, I'm too forgiving. That's my problem now. Like, I forgive too easily. But in this situation, I wasn't letting up because I was like, nah, I'm not feeling this.
And it was a lot for both of us.
Yeah.
And me, I just missed having... You know, everybody has that one friend that they can talk to about anything, that won't judge them. I miss having that. Like I felt myself looking for different things in different people because I wanted you back, and I wasn't getting it. So I'm like, oh, I need Ariel.
Same. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I was like, dang. Bruce missing from I need Bruce back. Like something's missing.
But you got into a situation where you dealt with somebody similar to me. I think that's what brought you back.
You know what?
Or that was like the icing on the cake. I'm not gonna say it brought you back.
I think that, yeah. I met somebody like who reminded me a lot of him, but in a relationship aspect, I guess. And that's kind of how we got, I guess, reconnected. And then coronavirus and all that kind of, brings people back together. But outside of talking about us, what do you think makes a real friend?
For me, I would say what makes a real friend is loyalty and support.
Yeah.
Loyalty is, I feel like it goes no deeper than that. Like a loyal friend, you don't have to worry about them going back saying anything to anybody. Yeah. You don't have to worry about them going behind your back doing things. And a supportive friend, it don't even have to be financially. Just give me a hug if you feel like I need a hug. I don't know, wash my car or something like that. Just the little things makes a person loyal and supportive. Those are the big things for me.
Honestly, loyalty, support, having my back. But I mean, I guess everything really goes into loyalty, like having my back, like being able to check me when I'm wrong and calling me out on it.
Because that's also support.
Like you said, being there for me when I really need you to be there. I'm just kind of breaking down this, but being trustworthy. Can I trust you? Like, or do you do things to rub me the wrong way? And I'm questioning, my trust for you. One thing about me, I'm very, very big on trust. If I feel like I can't trust you anymore, that's it for our relationship. I'm done. Like, whether it's a friendship, a relationship, I can't do the whole non-trustworthy thing. That I will never be able to be cool with you again after that.
I will say, just piggybacking, but going back a little bit. When we lived together, we was going through all that. It was never a problem with the bills. We both paid our bills, so that was trustworthy and support for me. That's how I knew, like, okay, look, we not fucking each other because we're. Can I cuss?
We let that slide, y'all.
Okay, well, that's. I think that'll be it. But we didn't put each other in uncomfortable positions as far as how we was living our lives. So
that does go back into trust. But what I will say is, I think that a lot of the problem with people's friendship as they get older is that, like, to me, now that I'm older, I understand friends who in the past may have, been jealous or.
But I feel like it's jealousy for some people, but for other people, it's just like, I'm proud of my friend. You're doing good. You got this going on, but damn, when is it gonna happen for me? Yeah. So for some people, it's jealousy, but for others, it's like, I want that for you. I'm gonna support you, but I want the same thing.
And so that's why I would say, like, what I will say is, and my brother really taught me this. people have like too high of expectations on humans, in my opinion. Like, one thing I don't like about some women is, like, some women will literally take back a man over and over and over and over. And we were talking about this at my friend Keisha's birthday dinner. They will take back a man over and over and over and over again. But the minute their friend does one thing, it's like, it's a wrap. And I don't agree with that, because you can't put high expectations on humans, even friendships. Because at the end of the day, yes, everybody gets jealous. Everybody has feelings of envy. Everybody has feelings of, and it might not be to your friend, but everybody in some capacity at some point says, why couldn't this happen for me? Like, why am I dealing with what I am dealing with? And it doesn't make you malicious. It doesn't make you envious. It just makes you human at the end of the day. And I think that when I was younger, I had this small notion of what a friend was. Like, oh, well, if you're my friend, you don't need to do this. You don't need to have these feelings. You don't need to. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
So I feel like to an extent.
To an extent.
A very small extent.
Yeah. So I guess that extent is, don't get me wrong, I don't believe that jealousy is a form of being a good friend. What I'm saying is, it's understandable sometimes, and it can be forgivable when your friend, I'm not saying hating, but when your friend is kind of, feeling a little, whatever they're going through during their time or that moment in their life, and they may be feeling a little, weird, or, they may be acting a little different. It's like, can you really be upset with a person for feeling like their life isn't where they really would want it to be, or it could be even bad at that moment, and then they're surrounded by all these people who are doing great things?
But what are they doing? Like, are they doing anything that's questionable or something that you really can't come back from?
So to me, okay, I guess we can go over, what do you think is like deal breakers though?
I feel like words can be forgiven depending on what you say. Like, if you say some shit like, if you demean my character, then I don't really, it's gonna be hard for me to come back from that. Like, you calling me out of my name, you saying that I need to do, if you kicking me while I'm down, that's the big thing. If you kick me while I'm down, I don't think I'm really be able to come back from that, because I'm going through something, or what we talking about? Jealousy.
Yeah. So for example, for me, something that can't come back from is if you've tried to deal with men that I've dated. Like,
but would that's jealousy though, or that's just?
I would say that's kind of. I mean, that could be a form of envy though.
Yeah, but jealousy and envy go hand in hand.
Okay, so jealous. So, for example, or I've had a business for 2 years and I've never seen you support me. Like, to me, that I can't come back from that, because that ties into support. Like, not only are you jealous, you're not supporting me. Like, you're allowing your jealousy to override even being there for me. So you can't really come back from that, in my opinion.
At the end of the day.
Or you constantly see that things are good happening for me, and while I understand good things may not be happening for you, but you never say congrats. You never say I'm proud of you. You never say I'm happy for you. And this goes on for a long period of time. I can't come back from that. Like, you can't come back from that. But something that can come back from is, say something's happening for me and something hasn't happened for you, and you kind of are like, oh, congrats, but deep down you're not. I know it's not like full blown, like, I don't know, like, you're not fully blown supportive of me. We can talk about that. That.
But
especially if you're known to be loyal to me.
Do you feel like at a certain point you can tell that your friends are jealous, and but maybe you should say, because I feel like for me, if I feel like somebody's jealous, I'm not gonna really say that thing to you. It's gonna make me kind of fall back and just start watching you. But I feel like jealousy, to an extent, depending on how far it's gone, y'all can have a conversation and y'all can come back from it. So I feel like when you feel like a friend maybe feels jealous about what you have going on or what you're doing, you should be like, hey, I'm seeing some changes in your behavior, and it's not you. Like, what's going on?
That's a good one.
Like, maybe we should talk about it, or you feel like it's something that you want to do that I can help you with.
Yep, that's a good one.
I feel like that needs to be normalized.
It does.
Because I don't want to get into it with somebody else ever again in my life, and I'd be like, oh, you just jealous of me. I want to say something from the beginning, like, look, I see that you're changing a little bit. Like, what can we do to get you out of this situation? Is it something that you want to work on? Is there anything? I ain't got no money for you, but is it something that I could do to help you?
Because one thing I will say, people like it goes back to people having unrealistic expectations, and you see it on Instagram all the time. Oh, these people be hating. These people are jealous. No, people are human, bro. Like, and growing up, I always thought that too. But I had to realize, like, it was my brother who told me, Ariel, people are human. Like, sometimes people go through stages in their life where nothing is clicking for them. Nothing is going good. So to be surrounded by so many people where everything is clicking for them, and then they're in their winning season when you're in your losing season, you know, it's hard to be super happy for someone else. So you can't sit up here and say somebody's hating or somebody's jealous or somebody's envious. Somebody is human. Like, and I feel like that's the thing about me. Like, I look at everything from another person's lens, from another person's perspective. And I didn't used to be like that. I used to be like, oh, well, screw them. Like, they just hating on me. Like, you know what I'm saying? I used to be like that.
But you know what? You know, I've been at the top. I've been at the bottom. I've been right in the middle, growing up and as an adult. So I feel like, me personally, maybe it's for Aquarius to me, I always want to do everything the way that it's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
So if I'm noticing somebody moving different, I'm gonna try to help you out, or I'm gonna do whatever I can as your friend to get you out of that situation.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's so hard for me to kind of just be like, oh, you know, you were jealous. I understand.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard for me to do that because, like I said, I always want to do things the way they're supposed to be done.
Like, you're a problem solver.
Yeah. So if you let me know, like, I'm not always the one to just be like, okay, talk to me, tell me what's going on. But if you give me a slight hint that you need some help or something, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make sure I can look out for you some type of way. I've been emotional lately.
Lately?
I think I need support.
What you mean need support?
I don't know.
Y'all, he said this is making him emotional.
Yeah, because, well, you know, lately I've been feeling a certain type of way about other things.
Yeah, you have been a little emotional.
Anyway, come on. Come on.
Okay, so.
Oh, wait, let me say this. I don't know what them decorative tiles made out of, but they felt so good on my hands.
Period. Book me, Classic Garden Events, for your next events. I don't really do interior decorating, but I am great at event decorating. But anyways.
She did good on this interior. Very good.
Yeah,
very decent.
He don't compliment me much, so
very
I'm not used to that.
When she say thank you, I'll take it back.
Anyways, okay, what are some qualities about me that you think makes me a good friend?
You're very supportive. I like the fact that you're pushy because not only do you make shit happen, you want stuff to happen for your friends too. So I like that about you too. I like the fact that I can talk to you about anything because you know we have some stories. And I never get judged. It's been times where you pay for my lunch or something like that. It's been times where I just had nobody to go to, or I felt like I didn't have anybody else to go to, and I could depend on you when I was moving out of my house, and you know we roommated together, because I felt like with that situation you didn't want to do it, but you knew that if I was asking, I must have really needed it. So that support, that loyalty, is just, it's immense.
Yeah.
Do you know what that means?
Baby, do you know what that means?
It was getting too emotional. It's big.
Okay, so for me, I think that, and you know what? Like, we always go back to Aries and Aquarius relationship, but I think you balance me out. Like,
yeah, I agree.
I think that with me being an Aries and we're like the bull, we're like the, you know, feisty ones, but you're an Aquarius, y'all are more calm, and you know, y'all look at things in a more peaceful manner. I think that you balance me out in that sense. It's like you calm me down. But I think the main thing that I appreciate about our friendship is I can depend on you. Like, that's a big thing for me. I feel like whenever I call him, I feel like he's going to be there. Like, I feel like you're always going to be there.
Well, I'm going to be there.
Like, whether it's I need to talk. Like, Bruce is like probably one of my only friends who knows how truly emotional I am. Like, a lot of my friends don't know, like, truly how emotional I am. Like, the fact that I'm literally a crybaby. Bruce knows that about me because
Not lately.
What?
You haven't been a crybaby lately.
Child,
Besides that little incident, before that little incident, you haven't been emotional, like crying lately. But I feel like
That's
I kind of
true.
feel bad now because I feel like you're not being yourself because you probably feel like I didn't say it yesterday. I said it the day before that. I'm not gonna cry today.
Well, in my eyes, nobody wants nobody cares. Like, nobody wants to hear your problems all day because they have their own.
But that's support and that's loyalty, though.
And that goes back to why I think you're such a good friend, because no matter how many times I come to you and talk to you about what I'm going through, you always are there to listen. You always are there to support. You always are there to give me, whether that's giving me advice or just literally listening, or even asking me like things that I can do to make it better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like some people, you talk to them and they talk about them damn selves. Like, you don't do that, and you don't do that.
Yeah. But you know what? I think he was eating it up. Like when I was going through my situation with Chris, and you was going through your situation, I felt like we was able to talk. Like,
now, I did eat that up because Bruce has never had feelings for somebody. So when he did have feelings for somebody, I was like, ooh, baby, I want to hear this. I want to hear this. Like, I want you to tell me.
But we literally would be on the couch. It was never on the phone. It was always like, or we started off on the phone and now I'm pulling up. So I would be on the couch. It'd be hours just back and forth. And, and I was really feeling like, I'm like, dang. But you know, for me, after a while, I'm over it. Like, I can't keep doing this too long.
And see, the thing about me is, like, when it comes to men, I don't feel comfortable talking to that many people, but I feel comfortable talking to you because you've always been like, Bruce gives pretty good advice, but you always support me in that sense.
Yeah, but that advice can change a little bit.
Why?
I was going through it a little bit. Because I felt tried, like, I was perfect.
Child, we both for a try. We ain't even gonna talk about that today. We ain't gonna get into that. But I just, I appreciate you being there for me and being supportive, being loyal, being able to communicate when things are wrong. I like that about our friendship, when we don't sit on our issues and our feelings. Like, we don't sit and be mad. We're gonna tell each other, look, this is the problem that I have. We need to fix this. I'm not with it. Like, we check each other when we're wrong. And
I feel like that's big because we all, like, looking back, we've always had, it's never been like no negative. Well, when we were younger, I did used to tell our other friends little stuff and you knew about it, and then I feel like when I stopped doing it and you still question, I was like, oh, I gotta change something. Like,
yeah, because I'm the type of person, I'm gonna check, whether you my friend, my man, I'm gonna check your ass. Yeah. If you're wrong. And I would check him. I'm like, look, I don't like this. You're not finna do this. Mm-hmm. And he would be receptive to it. And he even told me, Ariel, I didn't like when you do this. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm gonna fix it. I never demean anybody's feelings. I can't tell you how to feel. I can't tell you that I hurt your feelings or I did it, because I'm not you. So I think I like that we've always been honest with each other about, our feelings and everything. Is there anything else you have to say?
I think I'm gonna give you a little hug.
All right, y'all. This is my best friend, though. For real.
I love us for real. I love us for real.
Okay, so that's just the end of our show. I want you guys to get to know me a little bit better, and
no better way to know her than to know Bruce.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I hope you have a good night.
I feel like you shouldn't put an expectation on stuff like that. And I say that because prior to you dating this person or prior to you meeting this person, they had a life before you.
That's true.
So,